Welcome back, friends, to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick, and on this channel I talk about cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, and economics. Today's video I am talking about two exciting GameFi projects, that is, gaming finance. And now first, before I start, I will say that I was hoping to find a day when both of these projects were dipping in price, because I don't like to encourage FOMO, but as you can see on the screen, one of these projects, PYR, Vulcan Forged, is in fact going up today. So right off the bat, I'll say I'm not encouraging you in this video to FOMO in right now, but I'm going to provide some information on it because I think this is a very exciting project. I'll go through Vulcan Forged, and then I will also go through another project called Roco Finance, which is much smaller. Now, before I jump into these projects, just a quick overview of my thoughts on gaming finance. First, I'll say that I think it would probably be more appropriately called metaverse finance, meta finance. As you know, metaverse is one of the main narratives in the crypto space right now, and really in the larger tech space. We have Facebook changing their name to Meta in order to capitalize on the growing metaverse. You have the CEO of Apple saying that metaverse is going to be a key part of their strategy moving forward. Same thing with the CEO of Microsoft. And of course, you could have virtual reality, you could have some sort of metaverse without crypto. But if you want to have true digital ownership, if you want to own a digital asset, that means an NFT, and an NFT means a blockchain, and a blockchain means crypto. So I think crypto is really going to be inseparable from metaverse going forward. And the things we're looking at today, gaming finance, is more appropriately thought of as meta finance, because these projects are building infrastructure that will power the gaming and metaverse worlds in the future. With that being said, let's jump into it. So first we have Vulcan Forged, and this is really an entire metaverse ecosystem. You don't just need a whole video for this project, really you would need a whole channel. So free idea, if anyone here is looking for an idea to start a crypto YouTubing channel, you could probably make one focused on Vulcan Forged. I'll give you an overview today, but it has that much going on. So you can see the price has come up a lot, and even in the past day, it's really had a nice 20% jump. So I would try to wait for a dip before buying in if I were you. But let's take a look at some of the stuff these guys are doing, because it's pretty exciting. So if we hop over to their website, VulcanForged.com, they say fastest growing blockchain game and DApp platform. And that's right, because most gaming projects you look at in crypto, they don't even have a game yet. These guys have multiple games. They have Vulcanverse, which is sort of like an MMO RPG game. They've got Berserk, Forge Arena, Vulcan Chess, and they have a number of other smaller games like Block Babies, Coddle Pets, GeoCats, Agora, and they've got other ones coming in the future. I saw they have a tower defense game coming. So they're already a gaming studio. They're launching platforms, and they've got these products that are already running. So that's pretty big, because there's not many play-to-earn games that are already there. But again, on this channel, we're focused on DeFi, so I'm going to look at some of the interesting finance aspects of what they're doing. But you can see here that they already have an entire ecosystem built out. They also have a marketplace, so market.vulcanforge.com, where NFTs are being sold. And so this is important. The things here are priced in their PYR token. So they have this cross-chain marketplace where things are priced in their PYR token. And PYR, they're really making sort of the intermediate currency between all of their different games and platforms that they're building. What we're really interested in, though, is their DEX. So they built something called VulcanDex, released just last month in October. And what this is it's the first decentralized exchange dedicated to gaming tokens only. So you can imagine in the future there's going to be a lot of different play-to-earn games, a lot of different metaverses. They'll all have their own currencies and everything like that. And people will probably want to switch between different metaverse games. I can even imagine scenarios where people are, they're not just switching between games, but they might actually have the same avatar or character that they're moving between different worlds and games as the metaverse becomes more and more immersive. And as they switch between games, they'll need some place where they can exchange the currencies between the games. Because if you're earning a lot of money, say in Axie Infinity, let's say that's around, and then you want to come and you want to play Vulcanverse, if you're already Axie rich, you have a lot of AXS, you're going to want to be able to change that into PYR to play Vulcanverse. And so VulcanDex is almost like the metaverse bazaar to exchange those tokens. That's how I'm imagining it, at least. And right now it is on the Matic chain. They recently announced within the past day or two that they're branching out to the Binance Smart Chain as well. But they're on the Matic chain, and you can see right now they just have a few farms. Like I said, they launched just last month. They have PYR Matic, PYR USDC, PYR WETH, PYR Lava. We'll talk more about Lava in a second. And that's not a ton now, but they have coming in the future pairs for YGG, that's Yield Guild Games, Sand, Sandbox, AXS, Axie Infinity, and other gaming tokens. So pretty soon this is going to be a go-to DEX for gaming tokens. And one thing that I also think is cool about this is that if you farm on here, you actually can earn NFTs. So it's sort of an interesting fusion project between NFTs, gaming, and DeFi. All built by this, very well-respected, very accomplished already gaming project. Unfortunately, a lot of the pools right now are closed, so they have a sort of limited time period when people can join. So if you do want to farm in here, you'll have to keep an eye out for when they open up new pools. But you can see that, for example, there had a pool where you could actually earn land in the Vulcanverse, which is pretty cool. Very, very exciting, very unique project. And the one other thing I want to call out is, so they have PYR, which is sort of the medium of exchange for their ecosystem. You can see that all of the pairs here are based on PYR. It's also the pricing for their NFT marketplaces, PYR. So it's sort of the, I don't want to say governance token, but sort of the unit of currency for all of their entire ecosystem. Lava, on the other hand, is actually the in-game currency. So that's what people will earn in the game and use to purchase NFTs and items and character upgrades and things like that in the games. And I think that's really important because the fear with the gaming currency is that as people earn it in the games, it's going to become so widespread as you have all these people playing, and it'll be just diluted to Hades. I think they said Hades. It'll be diluted down to Hades, to Tartarus. And you don't want that, but the fact that they have a separate in-game currency means that won't happen to PYR. And in fact, most PYR, more than 50%, is already in circulation, which is really good. As far as risks of this game, I would say the biggest risk is just that the price already increased significantly. I think the team is very well respected, very accomplished. They've been around for years at this point. VulcanDex is already audited. They actually waited to launch until they were audited, which is really big and shows a lot of character, in my opinion. So to me, the biggest risk is just that PYR's already had a nice pump. So I would either dollar cost average in or look to add on dips. Next up, let's move on to Roco Finance. So Roco is another one I've been looking at, and unfortunately I couldn't find a good place to have a trading chart. But this one is built on Avalanche right now, and it's sort of, well, I'll talk about what they do in a second, but first you can see that this one is on a bit of a dip right now from its recent pump, so I'm actually looking to add this one today. And what Roco is it's essentially play to earn as a service. That's my wording, not theirs. I hope I captured that accurately, but that's how I'm viewing it. It's essentially play to earn as a service. So they're providing technical support and tools so that game developers can launch a play to earn game. And in their words, they say Roco is a decentralized GameFi platform which provide blockchain services to game developers, content creators, and player communities through the blockchain network. And to jump into their pitch deck, you can see that they're providing NFT solutions. So that is game developers who want to build a game with NFT items. They might know how to build an awesome game, but they might not know the NFT part of it. So Roco helps them with that. They also have open source software development kits, SDKs, APIs, game add-ons, and more. So that will basically be tools that, again, developers can use to easily integrate blockchain technology into their into their games, perhaps without having to hire a lot of Solidity developers or whatnot. They're also building virtual item management applications and payment systems platforms. So I think that's important because, of course, one holdup is if you're a normal developer, even if they were to set up the NFTs for you, it's a lot to manage, and so you need some sort of dashboard or application to manage all that. And then payment systems, of course, the number one weak point of blockchains right now is onboarding fiat currency, and so Roco helps them with that as well. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what the roadmap is right now. You can see that they've already launched their platform, so they have stake pools. We'll talk about Roco Starter in a minute. They built an integration with Rise Online. That's their first partner. And they're already starting to develop some of their other things like their SDKs, APIs, and mobile wallets. Let's take a look over at the platform. So first thing I want to call out on here is these guys have some big names backing them. Alameda Research, Avalanche, Huobi Capital, Ava Labs. So to me, that's again, I always say, look at who's backing the platforms, because these guys, Alameda, Ava Labs, they're not gonna partner with someone that's shady or inexperienced, right? They're gonna look for someone who knows what they're doing and who has a concrete plan. So this project didn't just originate yesterday. The next thing we'll look at before we jump into the platform is they do have their team on here, and the team is fully doxed. You can see it's actually decently large. They have about 16, 20 people on here. And I took a look at some of their profiles. Most of the profiles are in Turkish, so I had to use Google Translate, but there's a number of experienced game developers or people with experience at game companies here. So these guys know what they're doing. Now let's take a quick dive into the platform. So the first thing that we're going to look at here is Roco Starter. So this is where they offer IGOs. And you can think this is one of their services that they offer to companies developing play-to-earn games. So it's a launch pad for those play-to-earn games, and they have their first IGO this week, actually. And yeah, so that's pretty good. And let's just take a quick look at some more information on that. They're really focused on giving the community an opportunity to participate. So you can see it guarantees fair participation for users who want to invest in these projects at early stages. So they're not trying to cater to venture capital and huge funds. They say how these usually have priority participation, but they want to give equal opportunity access to all investments on here. And so this is great for users and also great for games because they can have a platform to launch without developing their own launchpad. They do have a KYC process, so unfortunately this means that most likely, I haven't been able to find the criteria on here yet, but most likely people in the United States will not be able to participate. Usually that's the main reason they do a KYC process. Kind of BS, but I understand why they do it. No one wants an SEC lawsuit. But whether or not I'm allowed to participate, it's still a cool service that they're offering to play-to-earn gamers. The other thing they have here is they have farming available. So this is a way that it's a service for you because you can earn yield on your Roco tokens, but it's also a service to games because they allow games to bootstrap liquidity for their tokens here and also to have a fair way to distribute their tokens to the community. And let's see here. Oh yeah, so here is this game that's launching. So 6 hours ago, this article came out. Always trying to bring you guys the most up-to-date news. They have their first IGO, Tailcraft, coming any day now. So if you're interested in this and you're in a place where you're allowed to participate, definitely keep an eye out for that. As far as the Roco token itself, they have two main ways I can see that they're driving value to it. The first is they are using 10% of their annual revenue to actually buy back Roco tokens. So that'll be some nice buy pressure on it. Additionally, they are using 1% of the fees in their NFT marketplace are going to Roco stakers. And then, of course, the other way that they're adding some value is that you can use it to provide liquidity, and you'll receive rewards for that. But that's pretty standard for most platforms that offer farms. As far as the risks on this platform, I would say there's a few. The most obvious one to me is their vesting schedule. So they were just launched recently, and you can see that there's a there's a 6 months cliff, and then a lockup, or a monthly unlock for the foundation. Same thing for all these other groups. They have the seed and private sale, various other people who have tokens that will be unlocked over time. So that could potentially be a lot of sell pressure, especially as this pumps. The other thing I want to call out as a potential risk is they have good backers, like we talked about. So they've got Alameda, they've got Huobi, they've got Ava Labs, but there are tons of good projects with good backers that don't end up succeeding. I'm not saying there's anything I've seen that makes me think they won't succeed, but good ideas aren't all that matters. Execution matters too. So you have to watch and see, how does this first IGO go? How do the next few IGOs go? How do these SDKs and APIs they build stack up? Do people actually end up using these? So you can, of course, get them at a cheaper price before these things are actually successful in being used, but that is always a risk that you run when you're investing in something this early. And the final fear I see is that they're definitely planning on driving some value to the Roco token through their NFT marketplaces, and there are already a lot of NFT marketplaces, so that's a very competitive space. If they're able to get a lot of IGOs in, then I expect a lot of those games will put their NFTs in the Roco marketplace, so hopefully that helps set them apart. But you have to consider that even on Avalanche, there's NFT Trade, there's Yeti Swap, there's the new Kaleo, I never get the pronunciation right, marketplace. So it's already a very, very competitive space, and there's no guarantee that their NFT marketplace will be the one. Overall, though, like I said, great project. Definitely one that I'm planning to buy into. But I want to make sure you understand the risk. That's all I got for today. Vulcan Forged and Roco, two great GameFi projects, or as I'll call them, MetaFi projects. Let me know what you guys think down below about these projects, and let me know if there are any other GameFi projects that you want me to cover on this channel. Gaming metaverse isn't my focus, but I'll definitely be including some GameFi projects on my channel in the future. That's all for today. If you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. And until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.